Hello and welcome to Bringing Education Home. I'm Herb.
And I'm Kristina. And together we bring you experts and ideas to help grow healthy, happy, successful families that are both inside
and outside the box. If you like the show, be sure to follow Kristina on Facebook.
And please leave us a like review on your favorite podcast platform.
Today, I have the pleasure of introducing Deborah Myers. Deborah is a certified acupressurist and Jin Shin Jyutsu practitioner working with people who want to feel healthier, stronger, and enjoy more vitality. Founder and director of Deborah Myers Wellness, she is passionate about empowering others to live in a balanced, healthy life. In her private practice, she assists individual clients in their search for stress reduction, pain relief, and healing. She is the creator of a program designed to support the well-being of children in the classroom and at home, the Daily Clean Your House Flow. Animated video and companion guides encourage mindfulness and help to optimize learning, empowering students, educators, and parents to succeed. Besides offering training and workshops, Deborah is also a 3-time best-selling author, sought-after speaker, and the recipient of the President's Lifetime Achievement Award. Thank you so much for being here in our pre-chat. This was awesome. We know this is going to be a great conversation. Welcome, Deborah.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here. Thanks for asking me.
You are so very, very welcome. You know, one of the things that we really want to make sure we're hitting on in Vibrant Family Education is that education isn't just about academics. In our world, education is the whole child, the whole family, making sure that everyone is able to communicate, cooperate, feel good, and then do the learning because you feel good, right? So that is exactly why you're a great fit for our show. So thank you for being here. Start with a little bit of your passion. Why this modality? Why this thing, helping children, helping families? Where did it come from?
Well, it goes way back to when I was probably a teenager myself, in the sense that I always felt like I was had the opportunity to help others as well as myself feel better, feel stronger, feel more vital. And when I got to college, I had opted to, and that was way back in the 70s, so that's dating me. I became a probation officer. Because what I recognized is that kids were just thrown into this situation where they'd done something wrong. They were put into training schools, etc., the whole judicial system, and then had to deal with what was going on and with all the other kids who were like that, of all ages. And what I wanted to offer was that there was another way of looking at it. So I actually, back in 72, 73, with the office I was working at, we started a group program, which was unheard of back then,
right,
to help the kids recognize that they're not by themselves. They're not on their own.
Yeah.
And they can not only receive support from the adults, they can receive support from their peers, and everybody figure it out together.
Yeah.
So that's when it started. And then ever since then, it's just been, no matter what I was doing, I was discovering that I love helping kids. I love helping families. And I say kids because but it goes all the way from toddler all the way up. I think in this world we live in, kids are still kids in their 20s. Just saying.
Well, you know, I've seen people who are a lot older that still haven't grown up, that are still children within themselves, not like in the find yourself as a child, but they've just never actually grown up. They've never actually taken the responsibility or had to move through
Exactly.
that. So,
yeah, good point. Good point. So what I did then was when I never entered my conscious thinking that I would do what I'm doing now for my livelihood. It just didn't connect. I mean, how can you do something like touching bodies and helping the energy flow, which is what I do, and get paid for it? So it never made sense. But I always studied, I always received, I always was offering, and I just kept learning and learning. I was like a sponge. And then, and I always did self-help because I knew it works, because I felt it. And then in 93, I was in a really bad car accident and ended up with multiple herniated discs, lots of pain, and refused surgery. Knew what I needed to receive, which was light, gentle touch for healing. And as my body did start going through that process easier, and I was also doing my own energy work in that framework for a time frame, and the light bulb came on. And the light bulb said, you know this, girl, just do it. So at that point in time, I was actually an insurance and securities agent, regional representative. And I closed up my office, gave all my business away, and said, this is what I'm doing next. And that was in 94, 95. So I've been doing this longer than I've done anything else. I have worn a lot of different hats, but every hat I wore, it seemed like I was always in a discovery process, on a journey of how can I be of service to children, to kids, to their families, and to help make a difference.
That's absolutely amazing. And they say jealousy is one of the 7 deadly sins, but I'm kind of a little jealous because I've done the energy work, I've been in it, but as I started hurting my head, it took me farther and farther away from feeling like I could help other people. And where you took your injury and moved forward into helping other people. So, different things affect different people different ways. So I've understood that as like, how can I make money doing energy work without actually doing anything? But you are doing stuff. It's just not as obvious. So I completely understand where you're coming from and the bravery it took to take that step forward. Well done. I mean, my heart goes out to you. That is absolutely amazing that you're able to contribute to the world that way.
Thank you for recognizing that.
Yeah, because I've been there, I've been close, and every time I got close, something weird happened and took me farther away, and then I would drag myself back up and fall farther away. So that you got there, just absolutely beautiful. Wow, I totally forgot what my question was right there. So I'll let you go now.
Let me jump in there. Awesome. Well, so let's talk about that a little bit, because you said that you're, shifting energies and doing healing through that, or working through balanced energies and things. Describe that a little bit more for maybe parents who aren't quite sure, or give a comparison. Like sometimes breathing kind of shifts our energies. Give them something that they can kind of hook onto.
Okay. Thank you. So here's a kind of nuts and bolts way of thinking about it. Your body is an energy system, and it's made up of rivers of energy. In Eastern medicine, they're called meridians and channels. Every single organ of the body has an associated river of energy. So the stomach, the spleen, the gallbladder, the bladder, the kidneys, you name it, everything has associated rivers of energy. Along those rivers of energy are multiple energy balance points, the same points acupuncturists use to place the needles. Acupressure is touch rather than needle. It's the same concept, almost same process. I work with acupuncturists. I go to one, and I have clients who are acupuncturists, and the idea is the same. It's just a different way of connecting with the energy and helping it flow. And the idea is that when the various energy balance points start talking to the others, they hear the messages. And the messages is all about, let's be in flow. When the energy's in flow, yes, the breath opens up, the digestive, the elimination, the vascular, the reproductive, you name it, everything within the system has an opportunity to collaborate with every other part. And that's the beauty. When your body walks around in a state of balance and harmony, energetically balanced, every piece and part of you can have a conversation with every other piece and part of you. And when that process is happening, it's like you have all these different systems collaborating in a environment that wants that to happen, because that's where healing takes place, and where then the whole body feels that spaciousness of ease, of calm, of ability to go from where it is to where it wants to be, which is balance and harmony. And once your body experiences that, it knows it. And then if you consistently, here's the key, consistently help your body feel that space of ongoing balance and harmony, it will get your attention if something goes awry, or not even goes awry, potentially might go awry. Because it's like it has this phenomenal ability, the it being your whole body being, has this phenomenal ability to pick up on messages. And it will do so when there's balance and harmony being experienced. So if you, have you ever had a low back pain? Most people have. I'll just bring it up. If it's not chronic, but it gets your attention quickly because maybe you positioned yourself wrong, maybe you stretched wrong, maybe you moved something, lifted, whatever the case may be. Maybe you're sitting too long in front of a computer, who knows? But if that was a message, but you just let it go and didn't think about it, it was like, well, you didn't have the energetic signal that if you did held this particular energy balance area, for instance, your low back, at the same time I'm just going to throw this in quickly. You ready? Have your other hand, it does not have to be on the same side of your body, but I'm going to mirror you. If your left hand is sitting on your left low back, because that's the part that got a little constricted and a little angry maybe.
Yep.
Have your right hand hold the outside of your right knee. That's all you have to do.
Interesting.
And because that outside of your knee is an anti-inflammatory point. So you have a hand at your anti-inflammatory point. At the same time, you have your hand where there is, where your body's talking to you. You can help your body ease into opening up the space. And yes, once the space is open and the rivers of energy are flowing, you will start noticing that you have more expansive breath. And once the breath and the energy are talking, guess what then transpires? All of a sudden, everything else starts playing together. Cognitive abilities, emotional state of well-being. In the cognitive realm, you'll find that focus and clarity and productivity can kick up.
Yeah.
You'll find that your body emotionally feels calmer, feels more at ease, has less and less of a tendency for anxiousness. Now, that little step that I showed you, the outside, the hip area, low back, and the outside of the knee, will more easily find its way of letting go if you consistently remind your body what that flow is like.
Right.
So years ago, when I'm working with my clients one-on-one, and way back then, that was always in person for the most part. There was always a few virtual here and there. That was back in the Skype days. Then I was always teaching them the self-help because I believe each and every person has the ability to do the work for themselves. Just need to be shown a technique that's easy to learn, easy to remember, and easy to get around to doing because the benefits are noticeable.
Right.
And notable. So I started giving all these self-help directions, and then it was my clients. So this is like 28 years ago, maybe 27. It was my clients who asked me to just teach a workshop. So I created my first workshop. And then in that time frame, I wrote the Daily Clean Your House Flow. Now, the Daily Clean Your House Flow is a 9-step self-help acupressure flow that recognizes the body you walk around in as your house. And if you clean it out every day, you're ahead of the game. Get rid of the dust bunnies and the cobwebs, flush out the system, give it a darn good vacuuming as many times a day as you want, because there's no such thing as too much self-help. And your body knows that state of balance and harmony. So then that simple little hint I gave you, the energy tip, will be much more easily received and noticed by your body. Oh, he is telling me to do this, that. And now, Now the low back lets go.
I absolutely love it. And this works really well with little ones, kids. You can teach them when they're small and young to kind of get themselves centered and focused and energy flowing and well up into the adults. So this is absolutely excellent.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people like me who have trouble being embodied, so I've, for many, many years, I'm a really, really highly intelligent person. And now I say that not necessarily bragging, because for most of my life, I thought that was an awful thing because it left me alone. It caused a lot of grief and pain in my life. So I was like, I used to say, oh, wow, I wish I was a better singer than being smart, because at least people would appreciate that. So I'm not saying that like, woo, hey, look, I'm smart. But it made it very difficult for me to be in my body. I saw a clip recently where a guy says, alcohol and drug addiction isn't the problem. That's actually the solution to the problem that they have of not being able to be in their body, not feel their body. And when they do start to feel their body, they feel that anxiety, they feel the things that are in there, and it freaks them out, and they leave their body and they try and find external ways to calm themselves down. So there's a great population that has a lot of trouble being in here, feeling that, recognizing those symptoms. So yeah, I love that it's like, oh yeah, it's just this simple, and it is, but it is not easy. For some people, it is like incredibly not easy. And one of the things that I would like to go back to is when I hurt my head, I didn't know I hurt my head because I messed up my body a lot too, because it was in snowboarding. And it got to the point where I couldn't get my arms over my shoulders and I couldn't touch my knees. I mean, my body was a wreck. And I started going to an acupuncturist. And she was one of them. I've gone to a bunch before, but she was amazing. I would say, oh, it hurts here and here. And she would like touch that point, and then she would trace through my body and like, oh, it hurts here. And then she would like stick a needle here, or she would stick a needle in my arm, or she would stick a needle in my head. And I could feel that just melt, and it'd be like, oh. But outside of that, then it was difficult for me to be in my body to do that for myself. So I relied on her instead of then taking over my own care.
Yeah.
And again, because it was that not easiness of being embodied for myself.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of, in my opinion, learning a simple tool that's always available to you. The way I love talking about it is most people have hands, and we walk around with these things called fingertips 24/7. Learn how to make use of them. Learn where your body would love to experience the collaborative touch and help your body experience the spaciousness of moving. Energy has to change. It has to move. It does not like being stagnant. It gets stagnant, it gets stuck, and all of a sudden you end up with, remember I call them rivers of energy? If it gets stuck, you get beaver dams. Right. And as any beaver dam sits on any river, it changes the flow pattern. It drops the level, it changes the current, it changes how well that river can function going downhill or going through the valley or whatever the case may be. So when you help the body let go of the constriction, it has the ability then to not only flow, but to continue to flow. So it's like when you watch a river and you see all the stuff coming down the river and it collects at a beaver dam, the limbs, the trunks, the the garbage, the whatever, the same thing is happening in your body. If there is something that has impacted your system, daily living, stress, tension, habits, emotional upset or trauma, physical injury, chronic conditions, ailments, mental confusion, too much thinking, not enough thinking, cluttered thinking, chattered thinking, whatever it is, or any combination thereof, if the consequences of the impact are allowed to sit on the system and not moved out of the way, the body's going to go into reaction. And energetically, those rivers that I'm describing are going to get slowed down, jammed up, and full of stagnant, blocked energy. Then we assist our body to let go of the collections, the accumulations, and the body has the opportunity to say, I like this. I want more of this. And it's when we do that consistently for ourselves, which is why I love coming up with ways we can work with our bodies on a daily basis and have it be easy.
Yeah.
And when the body experiences that, all of a sudden the body says, okay, now I'm going to get your attention when something else needs to take place. So it was actually, like I said, I wrote the Daily Clean Your House Flow for all my clients and my students way back then. So 25 years ago, maybe. And then it was school teachers who were my clients. They'd taken my workshops and then took what I taught them into the classrooms. And they came back saying it was such a noticeable difference with the individuals, kids, and with collective students, not only in the classroom, but even out on the playground with other kids that weren't even in that classroom. And it was so noticeable, they came to me and said, would you create a real program? And it was out of that conversation that I was busily trying to create, okay, what's this going to look like? What's it going to be like? And one of my clients, who is an amazing artist, heard what I was up to and said, why don't we create an animated video? So I wrote the script, she created the caricatures, we put it to animation, I hired a professional voiceover person, and we came up with the animated video of the Daily Clean Your House Flow. And so that was maybe 6 years ago, I don't even remember anymore. And it was on my website as a for purchase item, along with the books I wrote that are like the guide to how to make it work. So it's easy self-help acupressure for kids and parents, for students and teachers. And then I wrote one for grownups. And it was a paid purchase kit. And then March 2020 hit. And I contacted my website folks and my marketing person and said, it's got to be free. I want every child, every family, every parent who's trying to be a teacher and be a different kind of parent than they've been before. Every teacher who's trying to teach differently, every healthcare provider who's trying to do everything, everyone in the world who all of a sudden is dealing with this craziness called the pandemic, and they're trying to figure out how to not be taking it on.
Correct.
And so it became a gift, and I've remained it. It is a gift. So you can go to my website and sign up to get the animated video. All you have to do is put in your name and email address, and you'll get to download it. It's yours to always be able to go back to.
Excellent.
So if you have other folks in your life who would love to have that information, just share the site with them so they can do the same thing. And then it was from that I created the Productive Mindfulness School Program, which is I go into a school and do a school assembly with the kids themselves, all ages, or I also do groups with teenagers. And then when I'm doing like an elementary school program, it's the school assembly, a workshop for the teachers, and a workshop for the parents.
Nice.
Because when everyone within the community knows the same information, they can support each other. And you know what's really beautiful? What's really beautiful is, okay, so I teach the teachers first, so they're aware. Talk about, then we do a school assembly. And the kids get so excited about it, they go home, and then here comes the parent workshop, and the kid, which is usually virtual, and the kids show up in the Zoom room with their parents, and I'm watching them go like this. Hey, Mom, do this. It really works. Mom, this is what I was showing you. Do this, do this. And all of a sudden these, 10-year-olds, 13-year-olds, younger, older, are saying, Mom, Dad, this works. Do it. And it becomes this beautiful way of being in the family, because now we have families starting every day doing the Daily Clean Your House Flow together. They come home from school and the kids are doing that, again,
Uh-huh.
be ready to do homework and then before bed. And then the kids that say, that do it at the classroom. So one day I was at a pharmacy in line, and there was someone ahead of me. It was a mom and her son. And she bends down and says, Joy, this is Deborah. She's the one that did the daily clean your house flow. And he looked at me and said, that's you? And I go, you like it? He goes, well, yeah. And I go,
Oh, yeah.
and I said, well, how often do you do it? He says, well, every day it is the daily clean your house flow. And I just chuckled, and everybody in line is going, whoa, okay. And I said, well, then how often do you do it? And he says, well, I do it when I get to school.
Mhm.
I do it when I get home from school, and I do it before bed. And
Wow.
I do it more if I need to. And I said, why? What are you finding that you are that's making a difference? He looks down, he goes, well, I'm studying to get better, so I'm getting better grades, right, Mom? She nods. She goes, I'm getting along better with my brother. Now that's crazy. Goes, I'm playing a better game of soccer. So that's really awesome. So why wouldn't I do it?
Right. Oh, wow.
That's why we need to get this out to kids because, as
Yeah.
adults, it's like we have lots of reasons why not to do it. We have habits, we have built-in structures,
Correct.
we have avoidance mechanisms that we've put into place to protect ourselves. The all of these things that we do to stop ourselves, for some reason, we think we're protecting ourselves from something, and change is something to protect ourselves from.
Yeah.
So getting this into the hands of children is absolutely incredible. So when the 9/11 children started hitting her classroom, there was a lot of problems in her classroom. And again, I talked about, so I brought in crystals to the classroom. We set up mindfulness bells. I would arrange the classroom by their birthdays, because I read this book about the birthday code and about how you put the numbers on cardinal points, and you can find where children need to work. So I would put them around the table based on their birthdays. And she would like, no, I'm going to arrange them by how they are. And their classroom would fall apart. And then I would go, without knowing any of the children's names, I would arrange their birthdays. And one of the biggest impacts also was a mindfulness bell. So I set up 3 different bells that rang through her classroom intermittently through her computer, a short, a medium, and a long bell. And on different ones, they would stand up and take a deep breath, or they would do a stretch. And so a collective breath within the classroom. And these are just little simple things, but to a full process of cleaning the house. I mean, and it had like a major impact on our class.
Because again, that energy flow that you've been talking about was readjusted and released through the classroom.
Beautiful.
And so to have a program, to have a process, to have a flow that you could teach to a child before they end up with all of these blockages and traumas, that will help them ease through that. That is incredible.
Now a few words about Vibrant Family Education.
How many entrepreneurs and business owners start out on this journey to make a better life for their family, only to find that it took so much more time and effort than they were expecting that they had even less time for their family? I know I did.
At Vibrant Family Education, we want to help you reach your family goals while you're still building towards your business goals. We do this by bringing you the third leg of the stool to keep your family upright, family education development.
By bringing your children's education home, you will be able to model your work ethic and family values as you overcome obstacles and challenges to build your business. Instead of learning facts to pass tests, your children can be watching and seeing the dedication it takes to build your business and the legacy you want to create for their future. They will be able to witness the struggles and joys, the wins and the losses, and learn from you how to persevere and grow in life.
Instead of waiting until you get successful to spend more time with your family, start with the end goal in mind and bring your family home. Instead of trying to repair your family after you reach success, let us help you start achieving your family goals from the outset. Learn to be successful with your family now, and no matter what happens in the future, they will be better prepared for life, especially after watching how you cared for and built not only a business, but a healthy, happy, and successful family.
We offer a wide range of educational services, including how to easily get started with homeschooling. Come visit us at vibrantfamilyeducation.com and let us show you how. And now, back to our guest.
And
Well, may I show you the first couple steps of the daily clean your house flow?
absolutely.
So we won't do all 9 of them. You can go and get that on my website. But the very first step, and it sort of makes sense. And before we even go there, just take a moment to place your hands on your tummy and breathe. And just feel what your breath feels like. What is, just notice. Nothing wrong. That's the other piece. You can't do any of this wrong because there is no right. So there's nothing wrong, but just feel where you are at this base level. Now bring your hands to your diaphragm area and just feel the breath. Feel your inhale and feel your exhale. Do you feel your ribs moving?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel your back body moving up against the chair you're sitting on?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's going to change in just a moment. Now bring your hands to your chest, whether it's like this or like this, and just breathe and feel how much are you allowing your ribs to move with the inhale and move with the exhale, both front body and back body. Just notice. Kind of get a read on it, right?
Yeah.
Now, give yourself a hug. And that's simply light, gentle touch. Hold anywhere from the elbows on up, wherever your hands land is A-OK.
Mm-hmm.
Light, gentle touch and breathe. Feel the inhale. Feel the exhale. Couple good breaths. That's all it is. That's the first step. And that energy balance area is all about connecting with respiratory, with lungs, with diaphragm, connects with the vascular system. You're right in the level of the heart. And it's connecting with energy balance areas on the back body that are really, really hard to reach. Like way back here. We don't have to. You hold it here. And it's connecting with digestive system as well. I mean, look at that. One little hold.
Yeah.
And the next step is to, okay, this is where when I'm with kids, they go, what do you want me to do? I want you to take your hands from here and bring them to your sit bones. So you're literally sitting on your hands.
Yep.
Now, if someone has a shoulder injury and that's too tricky to do, you can't do it wrong because there is no right. If you needed to be not here, but more like here, that would be okay. It's wherever you need to be without your body going into discomfort.
And for our audience who is audio only, she showed from instead of sitting on the hands, just setting kind of on the side of the hip.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. So when you are holding at the sit bone area, you're connecting with an energy balance point that's all about vitality. So if giving yourself a hug, holding your upper arms, anyway from your elbows on up, brings in the breath, when you take your hands to the area of your hip bones or sit bones or a little bit lower, you're connecting with the adrenals. You're connecting with vitality. And did you notice that with that simple little movement right then, that your whole posture changed?
Yeah. Sitting up straighter. Yeah.
Sitting up straighter. And you got a lumbar curve.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So everything is in more alignment and more integration. It's also connecting with the adrenals. So it's giving you vitality. Okay. So I'm going to throw another one in quick because I can't help myself. So keeping your left hand at that sit bone area, bring your right hand, I'm mirroring you for those who are on screen, bring your right hand over to the left shoulder, about where the neck and shoulder come together, right in that little space. Again, no wrong. Do not have to go deep and firm pressure, light, gentle touch. Now, if you have a shoulder injury, like on your right shoulder or collarbone or whatever, and that's too tricky, place your hand down below on the chest. You're still connecting with intention. And when you're here, feel how that's letting go of any constriction in your shoulder.
Yeah.
You're connecting with an energy balance point where the neck and the shoulder come together, whether you're there or with intention. Mm-hmm. That's all about its tendency to be an accumulator. Its tendency to be a garbage collector. It would much, much rather not be. So when you hold here, and with the sit bone, it takes all the energy from the top of your head, back of your head, down through your neck, all the way through your spinal column, all the way through your sacrum, all the way through your legs, down and out through your toes. And then you switch to do the other side. This works so well. It is phenomenal for any time you are going to do any kind of activity, whether it be gardening, vacuuming the floor, sitting in front of a computer, exercising, biking, playing together, whatever you are doing. This helps open up the energy and helps your body find elongation, find integration, and find the ability to move. This little step is like a game changer to help your body prevent injury.
Mm-hmm.
Doing this before and after activity is huge. So those are the first 4 steps of the daily clean your house flow.
Yeah, that one also I felt open up my lymphatic flow, so it started draining the lymph nodes. So that was pretty cool.
That's beautiful. You know why? And thank you for saying that. You're getting deeper than I was going to. When you're in that area of garbage collector space and a little bit lower to the top inside corner of the shoulder blade, which is what you're connecting with, you are connecting with an energy balance point that is the immune system and connecting with the lymph nodes.
All right. And we have the one lymph system that drains back behind the ears and goes down through that. And so working that point or holding the energy, even just the warmth of your hands just helps move that drain a little bit and started that flow. So that was.
Yeah, you can see now why something that simple, and we haven't even gotten into the rest of it yet, can help with clarity, with focus, with productivity. Imagine students who would need some assistance with studying in preparation for a test, or how about preparation for writing a paper, or whatever the case may be, or if as an adult, preparation for what's going on at work, whatever the case may be. You do this and help your body prepare for what you're going to ask it to do. It will be available to you, no matter whatever you're going to ask your body to do or what might come towards it. Even like information, it helps take it in and allow it to be received.
Awesome. And I'm thinking about even our homeschool families who tune in and think about, oh, what can I do in my house to make things a little bit easier when I go to lessons with my kids? Same thing, just take a few minutes and do this preparatory that we just talked about. And hopefully those lessons will go a little bit smoother and there won't be as much maybe argument or contention about it.
Yeah, so instead of fighting with your kids, do your homework. It's like, hey, come on, let's do this. Let's do this energetic cleaning. And now let's move into our homework. So it's instead of.
So I have a lot of homeschool families who do make use of it in that way, and families who have study time. You know, they are in a school atmosphere, but they have study time when they come home. They do this prior to, during. I'm told about kids who just say, hey, I know what I need to do when I am not thinking right. Or when I'm too stressed out. And isn't it sad that kids talk about stress?
Yes.
So with that in mind, when you go to my website and check on the page that's all about schools and youth, you will find that there is a video clip there. It's only 2.5 minutes long, and it's me in front of a school assembly of K through 3 and 4 through 6, and 250 kids. So, and all those ages are interacting, doing it, participating, and looking at each other. You should see the looks on their faces going, wow, this is really working, right?
Right.
And part of the 2-minute clip is there's the most precious 7-year-old little girl. And she is in front of 250 fellow students, showing them what she does for calm and breath.
Nice.
This is a little girl that used to be extremely anxious. And to such an extent that, you know, that thing called drills, where the kids go underneath the desk?
All the different drills they have to do. Earthquake, fire, et cetera, et cetera.
Everything. Well, she would just quake, literally. And one day, here's a drill. She's under the desk and she's just laying there. And the teacher, I hear the story later, the teacher kind of crawls over and goes, are you okay? She goes, oh yeah, I'm breathing. This is what she was doing. I want to show you another one. Okay. So this is what she was doing. If you take your hands underneath your collarbone and gently bring them over towards where the collarbone and the first rib come together, you feel it like a little triangular spot right there up against the sternum. Choose a hand, does not matter which one, and cup it. So your thumb is on one side and your fingertips on the other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just notice that. Are you noticing right now you maybe have some jaw tightness?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Some on the screen that do. And as you do that, just notice it. And now place your other hand on your tummy with your fingertips below your navel, just like this. Or it could be like this. And all of a sudden, notice how the jaw tension let go.
Mm-hmm.
Notice that?
Here. Yeah.
If it's letting go here, it's letting go up at the occiput as well, at the base of the skull. So all of this is opening up and it's connecting with breath. It's connecting with movement of energy throughout your body. Now, this little girl had been extremely anxious.
Mm-hmm.
When she found out I was going to be at the school assembly, she asked permission to get up in front of all of those students, all her fellow students, and asked whether she could show them what she does.
Aw.
So that's on that screen. And the parents were so blown away by all that took place. They offered a release to allow me to do that.
Nice.
Have that on the video.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's huge. Yeah.
Huge.
Yep.
So just notice that when you do that, it is calming. It is spaciousness. And the part that really bothers me about that thing called anxious
Mm-hmm.
is if a parent is told by a teacher that seems to be anxiety, or told by, or you notice your child has a lot of anxious kind of, and they go Google.
Yes.
You know what comes up?
Drugs.
Medications.
Anxiety
Disorder. Yep.
And how sad and how scary is it for a parent to be told, and maybe some of your listeners have already had this experience, and it's a shame if it's the case, but how many of you recognize that anxiety disorder is a label? That's all it is. And there is a range of behavior or affective behavior that can be everywhere from just something called minute moment of time, all the way up to that thing called issue.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I call things projects instead of problems.
I like it. Yeah.
Projects are a lot more fun to work with and have a beginning and an end. So let go of the word problem. Probably don't even use the word issue. Just say, hey, it's a project.
Yeah.
Projects can change.
So we talked about the out of the box stuff. So I have a problem with allopathic medicine, which is
make a project
which
out of
is
it.
the standard kind of form right now. It's like, oh, part of the reason that they have so many labels, part of the reason that the DSM is getting bigger and bigger and bigger is if they can label a problem, then they can create a drug for it and put you on a medication for it, and that problem will never go away, and then they have a lifelong consumer of their product in the allopathic realm. Whereas when you start working with these energy flows and you can actually start healing your body internally or calming it down. Now, Western medicine is the absolute best at triage, which so if you break your arm, if you have an acute problem right now that needs help, our medical industry is top notch. But if you're trying to work on life sustainability, on creating better health, then our health system is not about people being healthy. It's about, again, crazy, but it's about getting people on medications so that the drug companies can make more money.
Which is part of the reason we bring people like you onto our show to give alternatives. Let's look at it and think about it.
I love
I refused my depression medications for so long, even though life got hard and dark, because I knew that once you get in that realm, then it's not fixing anything. It's just masking whatever you've got going on. And this uncovers it. This allows you to find it and to start releasing those blocks and to start easing that flow. So yes to what you do.
Excellent. Thank you. And case in point, I have clients that I see one-on-one, both virtual and in person. I'm very blessed to say I have clients all over the world. So if any of you are searching for answers, I do offer a 30-minute consult if you want to talk about it. And the one-on-ones are very directed at what are we discovering? What's going on with the energy field? What wants to change? What needs to change? What is offering to be changed? Because the body is a phenomenal partner with you if you allow it to be. But I also love saying is the one person you're going to have the longest relationship with is yourself. So make it the best darn one you can.
Yeah.
So
and even if you're not discovering anything yet, even if you don't know, even if you're not embodied, and it's just like stuff's not working, stuff's not right, I don't feel good, and you want help to start that journey, to start figuring that out, because there's, again, a lot of people like me that lost their connection to their body for a while, that don't understand this. So if it's just off and it's like you want to try something new because everything you have been doing hasn't been working, this is a great place to
and
start.
it works for physical ailments, injuries, healing from pain, from chronic pain, helping with mental thought process, cognitive process, mental awareness, mental sense of well-being, emotional sense of well-being, any of it. And the beauty is we can't separate any of it out from anything else. So everything gets directed assistance at the same time, no matter what. So I offer that as, and when I'm doing the one-on-ones, it's on Zoom, it's recorded. So I also offer self-help information. I actually work with sending the energy as well as giving you self-help flows and easy to do self-help energy tips that you can do off and on throughout the day to assist your body to help with the change. And I teach workshops.
Yes, and this is a great time. I was just going to ask you, give them the information of how to get a hold of you and that special thing that's coming up, please. Yes.
Okay, so I do have a special workshop coming up. I love to teach. Can you tell? So it's in October, Wednesday evenings, 3 Wednesday evenings. I think it's the 9th, 16th, and 23rd. Yeah. And it's called The Great Pain Escape. And recognize, please, that pain doesn't have to be just physical pain. It can be. But the physical pain is what we usually notice. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes we don't get a full aha about what is really going on in the body until the physical pain gets directed at our sense of being. So so I'm bringing in information that helps with mental well-being, emotional well-being, helping the pain of situations let go so the body can transform, transfigure it all, go through that transformative process to be in a state of balance and harmony so the body can heal.
Excellent.
That's what it does. So this is coming up in March. It's called The Great Pain Escape.
You said March?
October.
Did I say March?
You did say March.
Accidentally, yeah. So October 2024, that's where we are right now. Yep.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. I've got something coming up next March. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's normally $197, which is a pretty good offer anyway. And for your folks, you'll notice when you go to the website that there's a $147 early bird. And for your listeners and viewers, if you use, and this will be in the information that you receive in the
show notes down below,
absolutely, will be a special price of only $97 using the special code. Okay. So that'll all be in the information.
Yes,
and
everything will be down in the show notes. Yep.
And we will be having fun, if you will, because I can't help not have fun. And we'll be working through a lot of different ways of how we can expand breath, assist with digestive system, help with cognitive space and focus and clarity and productivity, feeling vital, feeling like you have the energy to do what you want to do. So after a long day of work, you not only can play with your kids, you can also help them with homework, and then you can go do an activity together, and maybe you even got in your exercise time.
Exactly. And, October is such a great time of year because everybody's had the hustle bustle of back to school, September, etc. October, the weather's changing. It's time to just kind of recharge, remove things around and get things going. Absolutely.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. Can you say your website out loud one more time so that they can hear it?
Deborah Myers Wellness.com. That's DEBORAHMYERS wellness.com.
Excellent. Deborah, this has been such an amazing conversation. Thank you for sharing about our river flow of energy and the tips that you gave our families and everything. And, just knowing that you care so deeply about families and making things better for them without having to maybe go and do something that, is a little bit harder. It's something right here in your house, that energy flow, that clean your house that you can do every single morning is right there on her website. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing positive energy, and thank you for helping our families.
I appreciate what you're offering to the world and to your audience, and thank you for the opportunity.
Yep, and I alluded to this a little bit before, but you took a problem that you had, you took your issues, and you were brave enough to go out and start in this field. And so many people think this is like woo, think this is crazy. And I'm sure that there's been a lot of detractors, but you kept forward and you went out and you fought that dragon, and you came back and you are telling your story and you are getting that out there. That is the hero's journey. You are a hero. You are out there trying to make the world a better place. And it is such a heartfelt, I can feel it, that this journey is not over for you yet. And you are wonderful. So thank you so much for helping our families. Thank you so much for being out there and helping the world.
So did you see this behind me, folks? I'm in the LA Tribune. I have a 3-page article in here that's all about the school programs. I'm so excited about it. So please recognize that that's also on my website as an article connection. And I got to show you. So I just, I'm sharing the cover with Taylor Swift.
That's amazing. What a great combination, right?
I think it's kind of silly, and at the same time, it's like, man, when I first sent out the information, for those of you who know, make use of Facebook and LinkedIn or anything like that, my assistant said I blew up Facebook.
Exactly. Big promotion connection there.
Yeah. So just know that I love sharing information. It's the reason I wanted to show it to you. And my website, the blog, all the articles, everything is there for your perusal. Please make use of it. If you have any questions, reach out. In the show notes will also be a link, and you'll see it on the website where it says set up a time. And if you want to connect and have a one-on-one, let me know.
Absolutely. Thank you, Deborah. All right, families, we have to wrap it up for today, but it has been an amazing journey, wonderful tips and tricks, gold nuggets dropped along the way. So make sure you pick up those gold nuggets, take them with you, and then don't just put them in your pocket. Take them out and use them every single day. All right, everybody, until the next show. Bye for now.
Bye for now. Hello, and welcome to Bringing Education Home. I'm Herb.
And I'm Kristina. And together we bring you experts